Wow, what you talking about? K. Lou in the building, what you talking about? You listen to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest, and it's been a minute, but we are now back in the building, and we are here talking live with you guys. So first things first, she's shimmying. And for those of y'all who are watching on the IG, it is a shimmy happening, and I love that. First things first, I want to tell people that it is Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest, and you can find us, and you're maybe watching us right now on Instagram at Food for Thought with K&E, or you may be watching us on the YouTube at a later point, and that is Food for Thought with K&E as well. Yeah. So first things first, I need to make sure that wherever you are watching us, that you are giving us a follow. Yeah. And that's what it is. K. Lou, how you been? I feel like we haven't seen each other in a minute.
Have we?
We haven't? I feel like, you've been...
I haven't seen you since my birthday.
Oh, well, it has been a while. I love how I was going to ease into that, but you just said, hey, let's jump straight into... I was trying
to figure out. I thought I saw you one time after that, but you're right.
And you were like...
You invited me somewhere, and then
let's jump straight into it. So...
it's still August.
It is your birthday month. Well, it's not... Well, technically, it's not Leo season anymore, so...
Who cares?
Who cares?
I'm all those Virgos. Shout out to the Virgos in my life. Y'all know who you is.
Well, first things first. No, before we get to the Virgos, let's talk about the Leo, and the Leo that is you. It was your birthday celebration, so that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I'm a county baby. August 1st.
And so it is one of those things that, for those of you that don't know, one of the things about being a co-host with K. Lou is, for most places you go to, you will have you bring presents, but the way this one gets down, on her birthday, she gave us a present, and I'm not going to go into particulars, but I will say that you are a class act all the way around.
It was kind of cool. I had won this thing at Holly Rod. Shout out to Rodney and Holly, Pete Robinson, Pete, all the things. And we had a good time, and then we parlayed our good time into a second day of day partying and drinking. Yeah,
there was a day party, and if there's one person that can do day partying and drinking, it is K. Lou. It is this one right here.
So good.
It is so good, and we were able to, and friends of the show. The 1010 Wine Girls have another location that is more of an event space.
Yes.
And they were so kind as to host your birthday party.
Yes.
And it was a day of
debauchery and mayhem.
Yeah, I was going to say, there was the liquor was pouring.
The liquor was liquoring.
The liquor was liquoring. There was nice little taco stand, which they were great.
Oh.
Do you remember the name of the people that did your tacos?
Unclear, but I will hire them again. They'll be fine.
Well, we wanted to shout them out and give them a little bit of love.
Roll your R's on this one. They had the birria. And they had the ground turkey with potato. And they had the chicken. Who cares? But I know people like chicken. And then they had salmon.
They had the salmon, yes.
Salmon.
I was very impressed with that. I was like, oh, I get to have salmon?
Salmon. With your pinky up.
With my pinky. Well, when you're not putting your pinky up is when you pronounce it as salmon. When you pronounce that L, you do not get the right
Lord.
Put up the
Isn't
pinky.
He crazy? Anyway, it was so good, and I felt so loved. And it was just a good birthday because I didn't have any expectations, and I literally told some of the people closest to me, like, if there's 3 of us up in this piece, like, it's still going to be a party. And the 1010 girls plus Big Sis Leah they've taken over the Savoy. And so the largest space is called Free Event Space. I call it FES with an S on the end. And then the baby Lee has a space in the back called Classic Twist, and that's where we did the party. And I remember a lot of it, but I don't remember a lot of it. And I was just a drinking and a eating and being merry, and I felt so much love. And I just didn't expect to be so emotionally overwhelmed. And when I got home and I got all the flowers and all the gifts and all the things, and I went through it like the next day, like I literally was tearing up and sobbing because the cards were great. It wasn't about the gifts. It was just about how people like yourself showed up for me. And that meant the world to me. It was so good.
Well, I believe that birthdays are important and they are supposed to be celebrated. And
Yes.
I will say this. You were definitely celebrated.
I
And,
was.
you know,
With my tutu on.
one of the greatest things was being able to go and see people from our lives past, and that like everybody showed up to show you love. And, you know, so that's an exciting thing. So
Yeah.
congratulations to that. That was a beautiful situation.
Yeah, my only caveat, and I said it while I was drinking at the party, was I need to meet some more menses so the menses can balance out the womenes. And I need to start telling my male friends, like, introduce me to all your male friends who might be single, but all the things, because like Ernest said, like the room was magnetic and energetic and magical, so it didn't matter necessarily that the genders didn't balance, because all that mattered was the love that they were outpouring to me. But at the end of the day, cheers, salud. At the end of the day, I can use some more menses in my life. Not for me. I got beautiful girlfriends I can hook y'all up with. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I will say.
Write me, at me.
They were definitely, the beautiful women were women-sing. And you were on
They
your grown
were.
and sexy. You had a cigar lounge in the back.
Ooh,
and,
what?
you know, like folks were getting there. It was like, if you rock with K. Lou, it's always an experience. But this was definitely the grown and sexy. So congratulations
I'm
to
just saying,
you.
I'm such a good time. I don't understand why. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole, but I don't understand why like more menses aren't hitting me up. Not just for me, but for the richness in my life. Like it's so bomb and so great, and I have so many great girlfriends and things. And this one and Prentice and my peeps. I just need some more menses in my life, more male energy. Let me say that. But if you ain't grown and sexy, don't add me.
Yeah, you look. We not gonna subliminal tweet, but so you are listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest, and you know it is definitely good to be back in the building and to be
Yes.
able to see your face. So you know, gotta shout you out and send love your way because you know you deserve it, and the birthday was a beautiful time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And you were so lovely and just doing all the things that all the womenists were asking you to do.
It was definitely a time. So it is Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. And it is one of those things that we want to make sure that you guys know that you can follow us on Instagram, on Threads, and definitely on YouTube. We are going to start populating our YouTube page as well. The place that we can be found on all of those situations is Food for Thought with K and E. The and is spelled out. And on Instagram, on Threads, and on YouTube, you can definitely get us there and find us there.
Yes.
You know, so it's been there's been a lot happening in the food scene and in the hospitality world. So we're going to kind of jump into some of the things that well, first and foremost, we were talking before about your birthday celebration. So
Yes.
we have to first and foremost, or secondly and second most, shout out our homegirl Monique. Because Monique is next up to bat.
Yes.
Her birthday is coming up her birthday party is this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah,
and
she's a Virgo.
her birthday is coming this week. And
Yeah.
you know, we want to make sure to take a second and shout out Moke Smith. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a beautiful time
It's gonna be
celebrating
great.
you.
I'm not going to be there, but it's going to be awesome.
Wait, well, you know, you should have led with that. What do you mean you're not gonna be there?
I mean, I'm going to be there in spirit. Like, you know, I'm donating some liquor and...
But a party ain't a party.
I know, and she's having like oysters, and she's outdoing herself.
Oh, you
and
know
then
what?
Chef Ash is cooking.
And Chef Ash always puts his foot in it.
It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. It's really hurting my feelings because she is one of my nearest and dearest friends, and although I think she's forgiven me, it is work. You will appreciate this though.
Okay.
I will be in Boston at the football classic between Johnson C. Smith and Morehouse University
Okay.
at Harvard.
I was going to say, how did that end up happening?
Essence Communications.
All right, Essence
And
Communications.
Cash App, shout out.
So shout out to Cash App and Essence Communications.
Mm-hmm.
I am a little bit confused as to why there's not a Howard versus Morehouse or Howard versus Johnson C. Smith.
This is why it's funny, because for so long I was saying that JCSU was playing Howard at Harvard. I love the two H's at the end. I'm so sorry, but it's Morehouse.
And when I was at Howard, we would always call ourselves the Black Harvard. And so,
I like that.
so I like I like that, but I hate the fact that we are not being able to participate. But
no, you more hate the fact that I'm not going to be at Monique's party.
I absolutely hate that.
Sir.
I did. I said, wait, you're not going to be there.
Because I'm like Usher. I am the party.
You are. Yes, we see what you did there. So gotta shout out Monique, and
please.
One thing that we haven't done in a while, gotta say hello to Miss Inez.
Yes.
Gotta say hello to Miss Joyce. And
Nigel's mom.
And Nigel's mom. we gotta stop calling her Nigel's mom.
We have to remember her name. Into our future seasons.
But before we get off Miss Brenda Joyce, we not to put people's business in the streets, but just know that if you're listening to this on IG, or if you're watching this on YouTube, we're sending positive energy your way because there's some things going on, and we just want you to know that you are appreciated and loved, and all is going to be all good.
Yes.
We were also speaking of the 1010 Wine Girls, and
yes, you better bring that accolade. You remember what it is?
Oh yeah, I'm about to get there. So the friends of the show are two Black women who have a wine bar and restaurant in Inglewood called 1010 Wine. I think it's technically 1010 Wine and Events.
Look at you. Yes.
Well, and they are friends of the show, and they've been on. Leslie has been on a couple of times to talk to us about wine.
Yes.
She also was on board when she made the announcement that she was running for city office. Mm-hmm. But more importantly than that, they are not just a local gem anymore. Do you remember do we want to tell everybody the accolades that they have won?
They were named Best Bar in the country by USA Today. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
You get the K-Lou air horn because you guys definitely deserve it. And it's great to be able to see that one of our neighborhood jewels is being recognized on an international level. Well, it's not international, but definitely
Speaking
on a
into
national
existence, kind of.
Yes, we're going to say it as if it's true. And so they were listed USA Today Reader's Choice 10 Best Awards, and the best wine bar in America. First place winner is 1010 Wine
Best
and
wine
Events.
bar in America.
In
Do you guys
America.
understand?
America.
And these sisters, who are sisters, with the example of their older sister, Leah, who has her hands in buckets of things as an entrepreneur, and the dad has been instrumental, and the mom, may she rest in peace. Like the parents, my understanding is that the parents trained them up to ownership was really big in the family. And so that these three daughters, Leah, Leslie, and Lee, would be entrepreneurs unto themselves and collaboratively. It's such a beautiful thing to watch. And it's a big deal because Leslie and Lee decided and opened the wine bar because they were just like, we're from Inglewood. Why are we driving to Santa Monica, downtown LA, Beverly Hills, all the places, when if we're drinking and we're being safe and we really want to enjoy ourselves, we can open our own space and welcome our friends in and welcome strangers in and welcome the community in and all the things. And they did it. And I believe that the best businesses are born out of the needs of consumers. And so we didn't have a wine bar in Inglewood, and it's a hop, skip, and a jump from me. I so appreciate them and their efforts. And like Ernest and I mentioned earlier, they have now bought the Savoy, and Savoy was big, huge entertainment venue in the past and whatever. And now it's called Free Event Space, although it's not free. It's more around freedom. I'm sure I haven't talked to the girls about that. I'll circle back with you. But I call it FES.
Right.
FES is the acronym. And then there's like a beautiful bar in the back called Classic Twist. And I'm just so proud of these gals because they are leading by example. And I'm sure the younger people in their family are looking at them. And I'm sure the younger people in the community are looking at them. And it's just, they bring so much joy to me, and I love them so much. So thank you for the shout out to them.
Yeah, well, it's not even about me. It's about the fact that
It's definitely not about you.
Well, this is the first time that it's not about me.
Or maybe the second or third.
Or well, I mean, I only defer to you because it's your birthday month, technically.
I'm gonna ride this out there.
So, it is one thing that we have said about our show is it's about elevated conversations about people that are doing big things. And I remember back when we first launched the show, it was the first year. I'm especially grateful to the people that came and were on our show when they didn't have to be. At that point, we didn't have an audience. We didn't have any numbers. And Leslie was one of those people that in that early stages was like, sure, I'll come on.
Yeah.
And so to be able to highlight them and they are just great people. But when you go into 1010 Wine and events, but you go into 1010 Wine, they will always take the time to educate you, to talk to you about kind of what they're pouring. I remember that I first got hip to Dwayne Wade's 3 by having it there because of an event that you did. And so, it's just we really got to support Black-owned businesses, and it's a Black-owned, woman-owned, minority-owned business. And for those of you who are listening or watching us on YouTube or Instagram, I don't want to gloss over something. They have taken over the Savoy, and the Savoy is a heritage event space that is in the city of Inglewood. It has always been a mainstay.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were able to have the foresight to be able to say, hey, we want to be able to expand to an actual event space.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and do this by doing the Savoy, which is something that people know and is a landmark.
It's a huge feat.
That's a big deal. So definitely want to make sure to shout them out.
I'm reminded of something that you said because, Ernest is going to be mad in 3 seconds, but I was reminded of something you said that made me think about the dad of these 3 dynamic Jones sisters. And I remember Leslie coming in and saying, my dad doesn't pay attention to too much, but he actually listens to you guys. And I was like, what? We have a fan in your dad? I was so happy to hear that. And it was so lovely. And then maybe about a week ago, 7 to 10 days ago, I went to the youngest Jones sisters gumbo cook-off.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was invited, and I couldn't make... Oh, no, wait. I wasn't invited, and that part.
He wasn't invited, but it was awesome sauce because both gumbos were really great, and shout out to Leslie and Lee. It was a cook-off between the 2 sisters.
Oh, so there was, in essence, 2 invites that I didn't get. Even
no,
though it was
one invite
with
with 2
location.
gumbos.
I know, but I'm saying that's 2 times that I missed out on the gumbo cook-off.
No, it's just, what was the other gumbo?
There were 2, it was 1 cook-off, but there were 2 gumbos.
2 gumbos, yeah.
But still,
that's 2 opportunities. There was not enough room for me.
That I did not get invited.
There was not enough room for him, yeah. So here's the thing. What I love about them is both the gumbos were great, however, middle child, big sister Lee, is a risk taker. And I think that Lee, and at me if you want to, Lee, I think Lee is like the safe person sometimes. And so Leslie is risk averse, so she got some of her goodies from Louisiana and all the things and just one-upped her little sister. But it was lovely because it was done in good spirit and all the things, but both gumbos were great. And if I had it to go back, I would have been able to at least pass it on to Ernest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
or not.
I know. I love how
His whole demeanor has changed.
I love that in hindsight. It's like, oh yeah, if I had, but foresight could have been like hey E, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
The twins, the ladies of 10 Time. But you know, that's all right. I'm gonna be all right. I'm a little bit charged.
You know Leslie, why he's gonna be all right?
You know, but you know what, Leslie? I now have your number, so I no longer need to worry about talking through this one. I'm gonna hit you directly, and I'm gonna let you know I'm talking to you. Like, you can't see it yet, but I'm talking to you,
you know
on
you know why he's gonna be
on the IG.
Because he be getting all the other invitations.
I'm talking to you on the IG, and I'm pointing. I expect to be invited to the next little joint that you got going on. But you know, Kate, because Kayla be gatekeeping. You know, first she be gatekeeping on the 1010 Wine Girls, and
everywhere I go, I try to gatekeep.
And then
with
you know,
I like.
her cousins are supposed to be doing like all of the food things, and I'm supposed to have been invited now 2 years or a year and a half later. I'm still waiting, so I'm just gonna have to try and figure out how to work around it, because it's funny.
Where else do we go that people say my name?
Say my name, say my name.
They don't say your name. They're like, oh, hi, Ernest.
By the way, it's like or like Joyce. You know, she be trying to commandeer. I walk into Joyce, and they're like, hey, Karen, and you are. I was like, oh, word? Okay, noted. So,
and he's probably been there as much as me. They like this so much more.
They definitely
and
do.
He's a good tipper, so it's not because of the tips. I just think, you know what I'm saying?
You know, you apparently just be in the streets, and they know you. So, but definitely don't want to downplay it. Definitely got to shout out the 1010 Wine Girls.
Yeah,
they did their thing.
They did their darn thing. USA Today, like for real, household name, like best bar in the country. Come on, guys.
Well, saying. So and then something else that is happening in the LA scene and the social scene here in Los Angeles is, and you sent me the invitation about this. Oh, not the invitation. In my head, I believe that's what's happening. But you sent me the information about it. The iconic jazz club in New York, Blue Note, opened a LA version of it.
Yes.
So it opened recently during the course of these last couple of weeks.
Yes.
And Robert Glasper was the person that hosted that hosted that opening weekend. And we will talk about some of the people that were there. But this
Please note that Food for Thought wasn't invited, but we're going to course correct that.
We're going to course correct that.
Don't cry for us, Argentina.
That is something that we will make sure that they know about.
Absolutely.
But it is and they've had some really great performances. Alexis Isley performed.
Love her.
And
Audra Day is coming.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Robert, like we said, Robert Glasper was the person that hosted the opening weekend,
which is a big deal because he's gearing up for this weekend.
In up north in Napa.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that kind of the who's who of the people that showed up for opening night weekend, Dr. Dre was one of the people that was there at the opening weekend that Robert Glasper hosted. Terrace Martin, the saxophonist, was there. Layla Hathaway was another person that was there. And Quinta Brunson was one of the people that was.
So cool.
It was definitely kind of a who's who of
except Karen and Ernest.
Except Karen and Ernest, but
we're going to course correct.
We're going to course correct that. And D Smoke was there.
Love.
It was just one of those things that everybody was there, and they haven't worked out the kinks as it applies to their dining, but the dining menu is about to become part of their situation that they are going to be known for. So it is a big deal to have the iconic, and we've talked about LA kind of becoming a culinary touch point, and but it is now also becoming, obviously, and has been a social touch point.
I'm excited.
And Blue Note LA is a great place to be. So you're listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest, and I want to make sure that you guys have a reminder to be able to Thank you for that.
We're working in tandem. It's so lovely. We're so connected
And
today.
for those of you who are not watching us on the IG have no idea what just happened.
It's fine.
So it
It'll
is
be
what
fine.
it is.
Behind the scenes production.
It is, and you are listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. And once again, you can find us we want to make sure that we keep putting this out there, because those of you who are watching on IG, you can find us at Food for Thought with K and E, and we need you to give us a follow there. We need you to give us a follow at Food for Thought with K and E on YouTube. We're going to begin putting all of these shows on YouTube.
Yes.
And, just make sure that you're following us there. If you're one of those people that needs to be able to shoot us an email, you can shoot us an email at foodforthought with KNE.com. So make sure that you're following us there at all of those places. Make sure that you tap in. We can't do this without you, and we do this because of you. So we want to make sure that you guys are giving us a follow. We have something. We were talking in the last segment about the 1010 Wine Girls. Mm-hmm. This segment is, there's other stuff that we want to continue to talk about. Mm-hmm. But I want to make sure to tell you guys that I need you to start to put in your heads that October 9th is an event that Food for Thought with K&E will be doing. And pressure. We're going to be able to give you a little bit more information about that. But I need all of you to follow us at Food for Thought with K&E on Instagram, Threads, and on YouTube. And we will be able to put up shortly the information about the event that we're doing on October 9th. October 9th. And we need all of you in the house with us. It's going to be an amazing night. It's a great price point. You'll be able to come and have a really good time. So just make sure that you're following us so that we can talk through and let you know about all of the good stuff that we've got going on.
And I hope it works, because I'm traveling the 6th through the 8th or 9th.
In essence, what she's telling you is she can just gonna come and be talented. She's just gonna come. I'm here.
What are we doing?
But don't worry, I got y'all. I'm gonna make sure that the logistics are taken care of.
Not for me.
And then we're gonna make sure that October 9th is the date. And as we talk with you guys, our marketing on the show will be having a bunch of guests on the show that will be at the October 9th event. So just make sure that you're giving us a follow.
Basically, it's the first conversation for Food for Thought, and you'll hear more as we continue to tease out. But let me say this, in terms of Ernest having my back. So today, we're at a place where, we know the leadership and the people, and he sent me a memo just to say, hey, get these 2 rock glasses with big ice, right? And so the people that I'm requesting it from are looking at me crazy, because they're like, doesn't liquor go for big ice? Why aren't you asking us for the liquor? They didn't say that, but that's how they were looking. And I knew he had something special, and he basically brought this brand of brown liquor called Wiser that I don't think you can get in the States. And a couple of years ago, we had it at an event that Ernest invited me and a few of our special friends to, and it was so delish that even people at the table that don't drink brown liquor were like, oh my gosh, this is excellent. And so I was really we got all these bottles because we were so impressed with it. And I was like, you've been holding on this bottle for 2 years, 3 years? And he's like, no, somebody gave it to me for my birthday. So this is just how he gets down on the get down. And shout out to Wiser. We are so into you guys. And if you want to help with the show, we're open to all of it.
So speaking of liquor, the next thing that I would love for us to be able to talk about, and it'll be for the remainder of this segment and kind of going into the next one if we need to. We have been speaking about, and we have spoken about several times, Fawn Weaver, Uncle Nearest, and their liquor brand. And do you want to kind of give people an update? Not an update. We'll get into what we're going to talk about. But do you want to tell them a little bit about what Uncle Nearest is and why it's so important for the culture?
Sure. So Uncle Nearest was a brand. is a brand, I'm sorry, that was born out of Jack Daniels. And the history between Jack Daniels and now Uncle Nearest is that Nearest was a slave of Jack Daniels. And that said, he really was the mind behind the recipe for Jack Daniels. And Fawn Weaver is, as you guys know, and if you don't know, the people's CEO. So she serves people and God. That said, she is a best-selling author and was doing some due diligence around the Nearest family. And I believe, and Fawn, forgive me if I'm not correct, wanted to write a book about the family. In doing her due diligence, she wanted to make sure that there was equity between the two families, and she ended up founding the liquor brand Uncle Nearest, not just for her and her husband or us as consumers, but for the Nearest family so they would get their due credit and their due legacy. That said, they have a 64-year-old female Delta excellent distiller that has won awards for the last 4 to 5 years. Fawn is just so talented, so brilliant, all the things, and her husband is equally as brilliant, and they are true partners, and they have brought this to us as consumers. They are also bringing cognac. They may have a vodka later, and it's just been so awesome to watch from the sidelines because I am friendly with this family, and all the children and the parents are excellent and rainmakers and trailblazers and all the things. So I just wanted to share that. To Ernest's point, you guys may know that Fawn, Keith, and their brand has been in the news lately. And it's just a matter of kind of discussing that and us asking for your support for them if you're not already supporting them.
Yeah, and to not talk in, so thank you for the background on Uncle Nearest. What we need to talk about now is, so Uncle Nearest, the brand that Fawn Weaver has spearheaded, earlier this month, they were placed under receivership by a federal judge for unpaid loans exceeding $100 million. Now, first and foremost, we are on the side of Fawn Weaver. We are on the side of all things Black. We are on the side of all things that are businesses that are representing us and are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
And excellent.
And excellently. Now, there is it is what it is. They have been placed under receivership. There is a gag order that is in effect, so Fawn cannot directly speak to a bunch of these things, but I was watching that. One thing that she did say is that this is her Taylor Swift moment. And what she means by that is that while she cannot speak on this, that there was a point in Taylor Swift's career where she was a cute and bubbly kind of artist, and then came Kanye. Kanye interrupted her at the VMAs and is famous for the, I'm going to let you finish, but Kanye interrupted her. And
while she was receiving
an award, and then she was able to kind of transcend and go to another level because of that. And she has said, she being Fawn, has said that this is her Taylor Swift moment, in that there is not a lot that is going to be able to, that she can speak about now, but she believes that this is something that will take them to another level.
Yes.
Now, there are financial improprieties that are alleged. Fawn has said that the CFO who was in place has been removed, and that they are in the process of working through all of these things. We just want to make sure that, and she has made a call for you guys to buy out all the Uncle Nearest at all the locations you can, to make sure that, that they realize that despite what is being put out there, that people understand that, one monkey don't stop no show.
Right.
So we definitely want to make sure that we support Fawn Weaver and Uncle Nearest. And, we're going to come forward on the other side of this. You are listening to, watching, and or vibing out with Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest.
So we're going to go into a restaurant review, but I'm going to close the loop or tie the bow or however you guys want to say it on Fawn Weaver. I am looking into the camera and looking all of you into your eye. And Fawn Weaver is an integral woman who has a business acumen that is beyond savvy. So to Ernest's point, this is her Taylor Swift moment. And if she's telling you what she's telling you, please believe her. We ain't selling y'all on nothing. I'm telling you that I know this woman and her husband and her family, and they are people of God, and they are integral in all the things. That said, let's be clear. Uncle Nearest is worth over $1 billion. That's the valuation. So I'm not saying that the $100 million is a drop in the bucket, but some of you who are financiers may think that it's a drop in the bucket, and all of this will be good. But again, sometimes we're not going to go down this rabbit hole because we are not political pundits. But sometimes when you are excellent and you look like Ernest and me, people come for you because they can't handle it. And that's spoken from Karen.
That's spoken from Karen, not Karen and Ernest. And I will say this. All things will come out in the wash. And it is one of those things that we cannot... look, we don't work for Uncle Nearest. We don't work for... we have no stake in the game, no dog in the fight, other than we want to be able to support everything Black. We want to be able to support everything positive, whether it's Black, white, or otherwise. And I want to make sure but what we also should do is make sure that we give fair and unbalanced kind of. So just so everyone is clear on what is happening and first and foremost, the call to action is we want to make sure that everybody goes and buys out Uncle Nearest. So Fawn was at an event. And she said that, while there is a gag order in place, she said that I am currently at my 20th hurdle, and that seems insurmountable to anybody else, but you can't play it safe. My level of success is based on risk, and you have to determine how big you want your success to be. I built a $60 million distillery that you can't even walk around because there are so many sold out tours, Weaver said. So just know that we are not talking about, we're not putting our 2 cents on it. These are hashtag facts. Now, one of the points in this case is that supposedly Uncle Nearest overstated their sales and their inventory. Supposedly, they are, that they are this $100 million in default. But we want to challenge all of our listeners to, 1, do the research. 2, make sure that you follow up with, that you still support them, because even if the financial improprieties are in place, Fawn Weaver has a plan to be able to help correct that, and we need to make sure that we stand behind and that we support the brands that are speaking to us and for us.
And all I'm going to say is hashtag excellence and hashtag integrity.
Yeah, hashtag that. So, so we just wanted to bring that up and make sure that we put that on your radar.
And I'm going to make an executive decision. So we're going to forego our hot dishes and we're going to do a restaurant review in our next segment.
Look at her. She just want to be the boss of me.
It's my birthday book. You already called it.
And right. That's why I got to be like, yep, what she said. We going to make sure that is the case. And you are listening and watching and vibing out to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest, affectionately known on all social handles, but especially on Instagram, Threads, and YouTube as at Food for Thought with K and E. The and is spelled out and everything. And we really do need you guys to give us a follow at those places, Instagram, Threads, and especially on YouTube, because we have some exciting stuff coming. October 9th is the date of our first event, and we will be giving you guys more information. So please make sure that you're following us at those places. Food review. So let's talk about it.
So Ernest wasn't happy to hear, but months ago he recommended an Italian restaurant to me called Antico Nuovo. And I was at an event on Sunday with one of your bison friends, Erica Miller.
Hey, Erica Miller. Hey, Dr. Miller.
Who has formed an entertainment and philanthropic entity that you will hear more about, and Ernest and I will bring the information to you. And I was just like, I'm not going to go home and cook. I want to go someplace. And I looked up, like, all the great places according to Eater, or shout out to Mona Eats, and other resources that Ernest and I use, and I came upon Antico Nuevo, and I remember him telling me. And so I drove there, and it's so deceiving because it's in a strip mall. It's so stunning inside. I had the most stellar server who had a servant's heart. I was telling Ernest all the food I ate and all the things and how much I spent, and he was like, "Are you sure you didn't have a guest?" But it's fine.
So I'm gonna jump into here, and then we're gonna get into the restaurant. One more again. This is another opportunity that, look, my phone bill has been paid, and K-Lou refuses to call and be like, "Hey, Ernest, what are you doing? You want to join me at Antico Nuevo?" But I had already been. However, you can look out for your boy.
The message is, or mantra is, Leos enjoy their own company.
So why don't we tell people about what you had, and let's talk about it, because this is one of my favorite restaurants.
I told the server I was super greedy, so I started with the crudo and the broccoli. Look how like light I am and how excited I am. The broccoli chicory Caesar bomb. He talked me into the bread. I'm trying to get back to my girlish figure, but I was like, "Oh, you do the bread for 5 hours? Yes, please." And then he told me, as a party of one, see what happens when you're a party of one, the real Naya Moore, you can get things that quasi are convenient for you. So he told me that I can order like half pastas. So I had half pasta with goat and some sort of spice on the end, and a pappardelle with their bolognese, which is veal and beef. Bomb. And then I had the skirt steak because I wanted some beef in my life. Not that the bolognese couldn't fulfill that, because I'm greedy. And all of that was awesome sauce. And then I had to try the ice cream, and then I had 3 wines. Don't judge me. I am now
just so y'all hear,
talent and
all of that food that she ordered was for her. Like, that wasn't the two of us. That was her in that spot.
And the beautiful server to the server was just like, "Oh, should I box that up for you?" And he kept bringing me like my boxes. It was so beautiful, and I'm sure I would have had a great time with Ernest, but I was so into myself that day and like treating myself and all the things, and here we are.
Yeah, Antico Nuevo is one of, for those of you who are listening, once again, we know that you guys are listening from all across the country, maybe even all across the world. Antico Nuevo is a spot that is here in Los Angeles. It is amazing. As Karen said, the food is stellar. The service is stellar. And we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but I would assume that this is still the same. The person that was our sommelier the night that I went was also the person responsible for the soundtrack. Was the soundtrack as bumping as it was when I went?
I think the soundtrack was bumping and the energy was unbelievable and the people in the building were really great in terms of feeding off of energy. But I didn't necessarily meet the sommelier, but now I got to go back with you and do
Yeah,
all the
we
things.
do have to do it, and
food was
so the
amazing,
sommelier is a it doesn't matter, but she's a white woman. But when I tell you that the soundtrack, we were sitting there vibing. I went. It is what it is.
It does.
I went with somebody that I was dating, and when I tell you that she and I were that the soundtrack, we were like, oh, whoever did this soundtrack is invited to the cookout. So just know that it is definitely a thing.
You guys have to go.
So hey guys, look, this has been an amazing episode of Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest, and we had to tap back in and because we haven't done the video version of this in a second, so we wanted to make sure to just let you guys know that we are still here. At Food for Thought with K&E is where you can find us on Instagram. Give us a follow there. Give us a follow at Food for Thought with K&E on YouTube because we're going to begin populating that page. And we just wanted to let you know we love you. We do this for you. We can't do this without you.
And so, big things to come.
Big things to come. Big things come. Soon come. So you're listening to Food for Thought with Karen and Ernest. It's been amazing to talk to you guys. Bye. Boom shakalaka.